The Extraordinary Rendition of Janos Farkas. Chapter 29, Part 2. The watches and explosives, Max said. Let's go over them. The watches are all Breitling Bentley Mark 6s, custom made by Philippe Ferrier in Switzerland. What makes them different from regular Breitling watches? Regular Breitling watches don't have batteries. Neither do these. No, but the movement has been redesigned to accommodate what looks like a battery. It is actually a very low-frequency transmitter that projects a signal no more than 5 feet. The explosives are 07023 plastic, small and compact, but with an extremely high concussive value. A piece the size of a golf ball is lethal within a 7-foot range. The detonator is R210. It is tuned in to the watch's frequency. When whoever is wearing the watch comes within 5 feet, boom. They don't stand a chance. The beauty of it is that we can set up our kills in places where it would be impossible to use a cell phone or a remote device. Anyone using them would be too close to the blast. That's why we can set our explosives in blind places like the subway tunnel in Paris. That's why, no matter how much surveillance footage you look at, you would never see anything but innocent people. I am gone. What is your part in this? I pick up the watches, I pick the venue, and I plant the explosives. I put on the show. Who picks the targets? Howd and I. High-profile targets, but they also have to have a weakness for women. We have to believe the Gisela will have a chance with them. There was one in Milan who didn't go for her. What's Gisela's role? To get close to them, to become their lover, to seek out their patterns and habits, and then to leave them with an expensive and beautiful parting gift, a Breitling Bentley Mark 6 watch. How do you know they'll wear it? Their other watches seem to disappear. How do you pick the time, the place? Habit, pattern. I told you that's what Gisela finds out, and then I confirm. Habit is a dangerous trait when you are in high-profile, high-security positions. When habit becomes a pattern, you might as well kiss your ass goodbye. In Paris, we didn't rely on the habits of the American military man. He was only there on business. We relied on the habits of the embassy man he was visiting. He always took his visitors to the same restaurant, and for some reason he always took them by the metro. It was that confession, the confession that if it would have come from Janos, would have spelled the end of the game. They sat there sipping their whiskey. I think we should move on to the 25-year-old, Max said. While we can still appreciate it, I would hate to see it wasted on a couple of drunks. Can I ask you a question now? Spencer said to him. A question not from Janos, but from me, Spencer Elliott. Sure, Max replied. I just can't promise I'll answer it. Everything I just said I got from you. How do we know all that stuff? The watches? It wasn't until Copenhagen that someone noticed that all the watches were the same. Somebody looked at them and said, "Hey, Breitlings don't have batteries." It was pretty simple after that. Apparently every master watchmaker has a signature, and it was only a matter of days before IC were talking to Philippe Ferrier. The explosives were identified from residue left at the scene. By the time Madrid happened, everything was known. And Madrid only happened because Franck kept his affair with Gisela such a complete bloody secret. If IC knew all that, why didn't they just arrest Farkas and Howd? 2 reasons. First, because the king of Saudi Arabia, King Hakam, isn't about to show his family and all of Saudi Arabia up by charging his own son with terrorism and treason. Second, because IC doesn't work that way. IC like people to fall on their own swords so that nobody can point the finger any other way. Besides, as you have no doubt been informed, Ignatus Corporation does not exist in the real world. Ignatus is Latin for unknown, and that's the way the corporation wants to keep it. Unknown. So an unknown entity is sending me to an unknown fate. That about sums it up, Max said. You know more, don't you, just Max? Not much. Tell me. You ought to tell me everything. You know why I stare at that mirror when there's nothing to see on the other side? Because that's where I'm going, the other side. And I don't mean the other side of the mirror. I can see what's there. I'm going to the other side that I can't see. And do you know the truth, Max? Do you know? It's starting to scare the crap out of me. The closer it gets, the harder it gets. I'm not sure if I can do it. I'm not sure at all. Max sipped at the whiskey, his eyes avoiding Spencer's. Don't get personally involved, they had told him. Help him take on the personality and appearance of the other person, but don't get involved. Get it, do your job, and get out. Then forget it. Forget him, forget anything you heard about, everything you read about. The truth will never come out. And yet, how in the hell do you do that? How in the hell do you spend time, personal, up-close time, intimate time with someone, and then forget about it? Tell me, just Max, Spencer asked again. Max didn't answer. I'll tell you what I know, what I think, Spencer said. I think I see as part of NATO. Max shook his head. No, he said. NATO is run by politicians. Politicians can't keep their mouths shut. If it were NATO, the whole world would know about it. But I'm close, aren't I? Max smiled, and the smile told Spencer just how close to the truth he was. So not NATO, but like NATO, a consortium of concerned diplomats working ignotus, unknown to their own politicians, who must pay lip service to their public. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. You just confirmed what my head told me 12 months ago when Ignotus came calling. 12 months ago? Spencer nodded. So they knew 7 months before Madrid. 8 months. Bastards, Max exclaimed. This time, when he got up to fill his glass, he brought the bottle back. Bastards, he said again as he filled his glass, not bothering to top up Spencer's. Spencer topped his own glass up. It's my party, he said. Remember? That's the end of part 2 of chapter 29.